What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. Y'all come on up in here. We got to talk. We got to have a conversation because brothers are scrambling and scraping now. Brothers are scrambling and scraping, and it's crazy at this point. I want y'all to come on in here real quick. I'm going to take my time a little bit. I'm not going to be long. I got to go to work, so I can't be that long on here. But we're going to have a conversation, though. We're going to have a discussion. I meant to go live earlier, but shoot, I've been tired, been sleeping and all of that. But we got to talk about Mr. Stephen A. Smith and his reaction after Donald Trump has been named throughout the Epstein emails. I'm going to wait till y'all get on in here real quick. I'm going to wait till y'all come on in here. What's going on? What's the word, boss? How y'all feeling? Teron Brown, what's going on with you, boss? How you feeling, dog? Keywan, what's the word, my man? What's going down? You say you're in Orlando? You on vacation, man? Aaron Ford, what's going down, dog? Jalen, what's happening with you? Interman Arts, what's the word? Asia. What's going on, y'all? Fred, what's happening, man? Say keep up the good work, man. I'm trying, man. I'm trying. Fred. Oh man, rest in peace to your grandfather, man. Rest in peace to your grandfather. Dwayne Johnson, what's happening, man? Look. Say Marcus. I'm gonna start getting on my little rant in a minute. I'm gonna let y'all file in a little bit. I'm gonna let y'all come on in first. Yeah. I'm gonna let y'all come on in first, and we're gonna have a nice little conversation about Stephen A. Smith and where his loyalties lie. D, what's going on with you? Talking at Grubby Media. What's going on, big dog? Aswan William, what's the word, man? It's good to see y'all in here. I apologize for my absences. Like, man, y'all know I was making videos every day, man. I've been a little tired from work and stuff. I got to get back in my groove, man. Like, I don't know if this time adjustment has knocked me off as well, but I kind of been like absent from my commentary. Like, I've been taking 2-3 days from making videos, and I got to get back in the groove, man. But like working nights along with this time shift has had me in a little bit of disarray. But we're gonna get to it, man. Um, Nene said, "Am I the only baby boomer in the chat?" I'm probably not, Nene. Probably not. Uh, but I welcome everybody. As long as you're not a buck dancer, as long as you're not an anti-black racist, you know, it's all good. Everybody is welcome. So here we go. Stephen A. Smith. Y'all know Stephen A. Smith. Can y'all hear me clearly? I want to make sure y'all can hear me very well. But Stephen A. Smith, sports talking pundit, former columnist for the Philadelphia Inquirer, highest paid individual at ESPN. He's been diving into the political sphere as of lately. He even has a YouTube show dedicated to political commentary called Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Smith, right? And after what was that, Wednesday, we were made aware that Donald Trump was all through some Jeffrey Epstein emails, right? His name was listed all throughout there. And Stephen A. Smith, it's like he got upset that this information was released. Because the way he came out deflecting The way he came out trying to switch up the conversation and change the narrative was absolutely egregious. Like, honestly, right? At this point, man, Stephen A. Smith needs to come out and just say he's a Republican. He got to just come out and tell the truth. Because now I feel like he is a talking head. Like, he serves as a talking head for conservatives. He is the face of black conservatism at this point. And every time something happens, he is quick to villainize the Democrats in order to take the heat off of Republicans and off of the MAGA Republicans, to be specific. And it's rather distasteful, if you ask me. And if you ask anybody who is, aware of what's going on out here in this world and is conscious of what's happening, right? Yeah, he's doing a lot of tap dancing. And he's getting called out at every turn, as he should, appropriately, right? So when Stephen A. Smith goes on his straight shooter podcast or show, he basically says that this information about Donald Trump being named several times in the Jeffrey Epstein emails, he said it's being released now because basically he's saying the Democrats are thirsty to get Donald Trump. He didn't say the word thirsty, I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, yo, the Democrats, they're trying to get Donald Trump as best as possible. So now they want to release these emails. Now they want this information to be public, etc. He goes on to say, where was this energy when Joe Biden was president, right? Why wasn't this information released during Joe Biden's presidency? He finds it suspicious. He finds something off-putting about that. And so he goes on and on about it on his tirade, right? Let's just get to what was said in the emails first, right? President Trump was being called the dog that hasn't barked by Jeffrey Epstein himself. I believe that was just Jeffrey Epstein calling him the dog that hasn't barked, right? The files also revealed that Donald Trump has been in rooms for hours with victims. For hours. Now, what was he doing in those rooms with them victims? I will let you all decide what he was doing, right? Yeah, I will let you all decide that. But anyway, after hearing this news, Stephen A. Smith, he goes on Straight Shooter and said, if you really had any dirt on him like that, you would have released it when Joe Biden was president, basically leading up to the presidential election, right? You would have released it during that time if you had any dirt on him, etc. Right? And let me just say this. First of all, the scrambling and scraping to absolve Donald Trump from this, instead of focusing on the fact that, hey, he's named in these emails, they say he's been in rooms for hours with victims. Instead of saying maybe it's something to this, he want to flip to why y'all didn't release it then. And so, like, what the fuck? What? Right? Even if that's the case, if they could have, which is not the case, they couldn't have released the files then, right? For several reasons that I'm going to explain in this live stream, it couldn't come out then. But even if it could, instead of saying, man, this is absolutely heinous. This is foul. You want to go to the timing of the release. To me, there's no timing on the outing of a PDF file. Right? Like, I don't like, oh, the timing mattered. Oh, like, what? I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? I really, really don't get that. But he goes to the timing of everything. Oh, why wasn't it released during this time? So on and so forth, right? And to me, it's quite wild how the MAGA crowd, they shrug off the essay, the assault of minors, like it's a blip on the radar, right? If this was a liberal who was named in these emails or in these files, can you imagine how the MAGA crowd would have been responding? If this was any liberal in it, oh my God, like, it would have been hell on earth. They would have gone scorched earth on the liberal who was named in these emails. Now it's all about the timing and all of that. Like, where are we going with this, man? For real. It's like he finds all the grace in the world for, like, President Trump. Even with his name, he's discussed in despicable actions and vile actions, right? And then you're gonna go at Jasmine Crockett for the way she's talking and the way she's coming across. You know, stuff like that to me, I look at stuff like that as like, well, this is silly. You know what I mean? Like that you trying to go at her for how she's talking, but you don't want to go. This part is not silly. You don't want to address a man who's been accused or he's been named in the emails of a predator, and said that this man, the president, has been alone for hours in rooms with victims. You don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about the timing. Why wasn't it released then? And what? And you're doing all of this while getting pats on the head from MAGA conservatives, from anti-black conservatives. They look at Stephen A. Smith as a guy to speak for them, as a guy who is a voice of reason for them in the midst of all of this. Because for some reason they think, Stephen A. Smith is just the leader of black folks, and if he says this, then black folks will just follow suit and just jump on the bandwagon with whatever he got going on, which is absolutely not the case, right? It's absolutely not the case. But let's get back to this point though, right? Because this whole thing that why wasn't the emails released when Joe Biden was president? Let me just say this. No one had access to the Epstein files when Joe Biden was president. Nobody had access to this, right? And let me tell you why no one had access to these files. The Jeffrey Epstein files are under court seal or protected by law, all right? In which this means that Joe Biden could not just release them at will. He couldn't just release these documents at will. Federal law strictly forbids the public release of grand jury materials unless a judge authorizes it, right? He can't just, let me just release this let me just release this. Let me release this information to the public. No, that's not how that works. Federal law strictly forbids the public release of grand jury materials unless a judge authorizes it, right? So the Epstein files includes, let me just say what it includes. It includes ongoing investigations, right? The Epstein files includes unindicted individuals' names. The Epstein files includes witness information. This information all must be protected. Why is that? First of all, if I'm going to indict individuals, I'm not going to tip them off. That like if those files were released, they would have been tipped off. That hey man, we're zeroing in on you. They're not gonna put that in jeopardy, nor are they gonna put the names the witnesses in jeopardy either, because witnesses' names are all in these files. They're not gonna put them at risk to get harmed or anything like that. That's not how that works. It's simply not. And Stephen A. Smith getting on his talk show, on his YouTube show, acting like this is the situation when it's absolutely not. And he's very misinformed. But he gets on his YouTube show as if he is informed about all of this, and it's getting refuted at every turn. So it's like, nah, it could not be. It wasn't released during Joe Biden's presidency because it could not be released then. It could not be released then, man. So yeah, man, he said free thinkers getting paid to grip. Yeah, all the free thinking movement. I hate when people be saying, somebody black. They only say somebody black is a free thinker when they think like a nocturnal animal. When they throw black folks under the bus, when they align themselves with anti-black rhetoric, they call them free thinkers. And they make them think like they try to butter up black nocturnal animals. They try to butter up the black nocturnal animals by making them seem like they're so intelligent. They're so on a higher level of thinking than everybody else. No, you just love them butter biscuits more than everybody else. You just love getting pats on the head from anti-black conservatives, from people who hate black folks, who despise black folks, who despise black folks' existence. You just love buttering up to them because you think it's going to put you at a seat. You think it's going to put you at the table with them. Absolutely not. Stephen A. Smith himself has said he wants to run for president. I believe I remember him saying that recently. Do you think they're gonna make you like what? Yes, that's what I mean. A raccoon when I say a nocturnal animal. Yes. It's exactly what I mean. Do you think they're gonna make you their champion? Hell no. Stephen A. Smith, they're using you as a token to push their agenda, to deflect. That's what they use you for, Stephen A. Smith. They don't look at you as somebody they could be the next president of the United States. They don't want a black dude up in that position no more. After Obama, they say absolutely not. And Donald Trump is a direct response to a black man being the president of the United States of America. Him being elected is a direct response to that. The MAGA movement is a direct response to that, right? Yeah, Donald Trump not going to endorse you, Stephen A. Smith. He's not. It don't matter how much you go and shake his hand and go take pictures with him. He's not going to endorse you. Yeah, so yeah, but a lot of anti-black conservatives, they always say people like Stephen A. Smith, they're holding black people accountable. Anton Daniels holding them accountable. That's that old Candace Owens shit. You know, they're holding black folks accountable. Yeah, they hold black people accountable, but refuse to do the same thing to white conservatives. They let them off the hook at every turn, right? So, and then when we talking about, Joe Biden's presidency and what Joe Biden failed to do as a president, him failing to release this information during his term and all of that, right? Let's be very clear. The Department of Justice prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell during Joe Biden's administration. They prosecuted Ghislaine, right? Ghislaine Maxwell is the one who procured girls for Jeffrey Epstein, and she also SA'd these girls as well, right? Now, on the other hand, President Donald Trump is letting this woman off the hook. For real, there are talks of her being pardoned at some point, and she's living a soft life under our current president. She getting moved to like these minimum security prisons, all of that. There's been talks about her being pardoned, all within the air, right? Why is that? Why is she living such a soft life under our current president? Now, I'm gonna let y'all figure that out on your own. I'm gonna let y'all figure that out, right? Why is she living a soft life under Donald Trump? Hey, who knows, I guess. Who knows, right? But yeah, like to me, Stephen A. Smith coming out and doing all of this, I'm looking at him like, bro, you're looking funny in the light right now. You coming out instead of talking about, hey man, this looks crazy that his name is all within these emails. You're trying to deflect on, oh man, the Democrats, they just trying to get Trump so bad. If that was the case, if you really had some dirt on him, you would have released it then. Then now you're just trying to get him so bad. Like, come on, man. Like, man, it's something else. But like I said, the way that the MAGA crowd rubs off, they just shrug off PDF files and the assault of minors is very disgusting to me. Very disgusting, right? And let me also say this, because I want to include this in as well. The emails released Wednesday are from Jeffrey Epstein's estate, right? They were obtained from Jeffrey Epstein's lawyers pursuant to a subpoena that was issued by the House Oversight Committee, lawmakers, right? These documents are separate from the criminal case files held by the DOJ and the FBI that Donald Trump and U.S. Attorney General Pamela Bondi promised to be released after the election, right? Now, again, for people trying to shrug off these Epstein emails, your guy you voted for, he ran under the promise that these emails are going to be revealed. He ran under this whole thing that he was going to reveal the truth about the Epstein files. He ran under that, right? So now we get some information, his name all through it. Now it don't count because of the timing. Now, it don't mean nothing no more. So like, what? Oh man. Yeah, you know you would have tried. You know you would have released it ASAP. He wasn't in there. Oh man, it would have been front page news if he wasn't in there. But now his name up in there circulating. He like, oh shit, let me fall back. Let me fall back. And then his minions are out here trying to shift the conversation in the media. They trying to change up the conversation in the media. So yeah, this whole thing is just absolutely wild. It really, really is. But you know, got Stephen A. Smith out here holding the front lines down, holding down the fort, holding down the fort to say, hey, the Democrats just so thirsty. If they really had something, they would have revealed it then. Like what? My problem is he got smoke for all anytime a Democrat does something, he got smoke for them all the way through. But when certain things like they're said about Republicans or the MAGA crowd, he trying to soft you around it. He trying to soft you around it. That come on, man. Yeah, man. So and again, man, Stephen A. He been under fire as of lately, right? And it's warranted. It's warranted, man. It 100% is. Um, eh, let me just. I know this don't got nothing to do with nothing. I knew Stephen A. Smith was wilding out, and he was on the wrong. His mindset was all off when the man said he woke up every day trying to figure out where the money is and how he can get his bosses some more of that money. Man, what? Y'all know I work a job like everybody else out here. I'm trying to survive, just trying to maintain in this world to be able to take care of my children and to be okay out here living. It's a struggle out here all the time. I am never thinking about how to give my bosses some more money. They got enough of it. I'm out here trying to figure out how I can enhance, how I can get me and my family to be in a better position, how I can get us to prosper. To me, that mindset like that, yeah, like yeah, Nene, him having that mindset, like, bro, you compromise. Like, what type of mindset is that? I never think like that in this world. You know what I mean? Like, that's never the mindset to have at all, man. I just, yeah, man. Like, Black Ma, what's happening with you, boss? What's the word, big dog? But yeah, when I heard him say that, I said, oh yeah, he's very off cold. And so now the revelations about him, things he's been saying, honestly, now it's not as shocking as it would have been to me back when Quite Frankly was on TV. That's when I was really big into Stephen A. Smith's media journey. When Quite Frankly was popping, when he was on NBA Countdown a lot, and really doing his first stint, and when he came back for the second stint with ESPN too, right? You know, for a while too. I would have been shocked had he said those things then, and but now since he said certain things before this, it's like it's not as shocking at all. It's very disappointing, very, because as a man who speaks at the speaks to the NABJ, National Association for Black Journalists, etc. It's very disappointing to see the smoke he has for Black folks a lot of times. And then, when it comes to like Donald Trump and the MAGA crowd, he's giving them outs. He's giving them a way out. Nah, I don't respect that. I don't think that's cool at all. That's what I'm saying. Like, he might as well, he might well come out and just say you're a Republican at this point. Just say that. And yeah, man, me being an like when I was a kid, I was an aspiring journalist. I wanted to be a print, because I write very well. So I wanted to be a columnist. I wanted to be a print journalist, and I wanted to be a broadcasting journalist. Right, from looking at individuals like Stuart Scott, looking at John Saunders, following these individuals, right? Looking at people like Mike Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith. I'm like, oh man, I could be in that same ilk. Because Stephen A., for all the stuff I just said about him, he was a very good journalist for the Philadelphia Inquirer. Very good. But now, since his celebrity has turned up, which came from him being on these sports debate shows, which came from him, being sports is popular, he became more of a celebrity. So now it's not even about just the journalism aspect anymore. It's just about having hot takes and about just being out front and loud and bold with these opinions or these claims that can be disproven, right? So yeah, man. It's left journalism right now. It's just like, yo, he knows he is a draw in a lot of areas, and now he just coming out just saying whatever stuff he could say at this point, and a lot of it is outlandish, very much so, and he's getting scolded appropriately, right? So like, yeah, when I see him deflecting from the fact that Donald Trump has been named all throughout these Jeffrey Epstein emails, they calling him the dog that hasn't barked. They saying he been alone in rooms with victims for hours. And all Stephen A. Smith want to talk about is the timing and why wasn't this released when Joe Biden was president? Because if they really had dirt on him, they would have released it back then. Like, come on, man. Like, I just be like, man, what? Because to me, when I hear something like this, I'm gonna take it serious. Like, man, why is his name all in these emails? It's crazy, for real. Because I tell you what, had any of the MAGA crowd would have seen a liberal name in there, oh, again, it would have been World War II. World War II, you would have been hearing it like, oh no, oh, I know this person ain't named in there. I know that, boy, look, let Barack Obama name would have been up in there. Oh man, Barack Obama, it would have been hell on earth had Barack Obama name been all through these emails. It'd have been crazy. But now, because it's Donald Trump, let's figure out a way to spin this in another direction towards the Democrats. It's the Democrats' fault that Donald Trump's name is in here. No, it's not. It's not. They didn't tell Jeffrey Epstein and them, hey, talk about Donald Trump up in here. Yeah, I remember they had got right. They had smoke. They had smoke for Barack Obama over a tan suit. They was mad as hell about that, right? They ready to go off. So if his name was through these Epstein files, he would have been every name in the world. But since it's good old Donald Trump, we got to figure out a way to fix this. Oh man, SL, what's going on, my dog? He say, ABC is using Stephen A. Smith as a Trump mouthpiece ever since the pushback they got with the Jimmy Kimmel fiasco. It's easier to mask politics and sports than nightlight TV. Man, look, 100%, 100%. And Stephen A. is he's willingly becoming the face of Black conservatism in front of our eyes. Late night TV. I know what you mean. Yeah. It's the Democrats' fault that this is happening. It's the Democrats' fault. Yeah. When they found out Barack Obama's middle name was Hussein, they called him a terrorist. Everything, right? I remember this. A friend of mine told me that when Barack Obama, when it was clear, when he had won the election, right? Because my friend I'm talking about, she went to a white Catholic school, right? And she said one of her teachers was crying the next day after he won the election because she said Barack Obama was evil and he was going to snatch her baby out of her stomach. This is at a white Catholic school, right? She said, oh no, he can't be this president of this country. Oh, hell no. He going to snatch my baby out of my stomach like he was a second coming of Satan. Right? And this is just simply for becoming a president of the United States of America. And now Donald Trump is being implicated, in some emails of a known sex offender, a child predator. Now, the Democrats did this. It's the Democrats. The Democrats did this. Yes, absolutely. Don't be asleep. That's exactly what she told me. Like, that's why I'm not gonna lie. When this friend I'm talking about, I met her in college. When she told me this, we would have conversations about racism, and we would have, I went to a historically black college for my undergrad years. My grad school years, I went to a PWI. When we was at Mississippi Valley State University, she telling me this information. And when she telling me this, it's a reason why I will not have my children in a all-white Catholic school or private school. I cannot. Right? Now, it can be diverse. It can be mixed, but it cannot be 85, 90% white school. I can't do that to my black children. Because when she told me the stuff that was happening, when Barack Obama became president, they, like, for real, they had to have assemblies to discuss treating people correctly and to stop racist acts and sayings and stuff in the schools, right? From the students and the teachers. When because Trayvon Martin happened with my friend I'm talking about when she was in school. I couldn't imagine being in a all-white setting when Trayvon Martin happened. Because she said the teachers and the students there were both saying, what did Trayvon do? He had to have done something for him to get unalive like that. Hell no. Like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. So, I mean, we just said dropped her. She ain't do nothing. She was just telling me that, like, going to a school like that as a black student, going to an all-white school, it was just traumatizing. Especially when black pain is like, when I thought I heard a bug flying around up in his mouth. When black pain is happening, black trauma situations are occurring, and even black celebratory moments are occurring. She was like, she didn't feel safe in this all-white environment, So yeah. Anyway, I said it to say, yeah, if Barack Obama name would have been named, and if Barack Obama would have been named in these emails, it would have been ridiculous. The hate he would have got, oh my God, he would have been every type of name you could think of, baboons, everything. Seriously. But now, with Donald Trump, oh no, it's got to be this Joe Biden them fault. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense, because it's not making sense at all. None whatsoever. But again, then this is the same man who ran on, oh, we're going to reveal them Epstein emails. We're going to figure out all the people in the Epstein emails. You know what I'm saying? We're going to figure all this out. So, yeah, man. Come on, bro. The same person as Donald Trump was the one saying, we're going to get all these Epstein emails and all of that. Now, his name in there now. Because, look, they were gung-ho. The MAGA crowd was gung-ho about the Epstein emails when they said, okay, Bill Clinton name probably up in there. When they heard them rumors, Bill Clinton up in there, it's all, yeah. They was all with it then. They all with it now. Now Donald Trump name up in there. Let's fall back a little bit, y'all. He said, Blank said Stephen A. Smith was saying every black person should vote Republican in 2015. But 10 years later, wants to claim he's not a Republican. Right. Just tell the truth. Live in your truth, brother. Live in your truth and just say you're a Republican. You know what I mean? Like, just say you're a Republican, man. Stop trying to hide it. That's like a brother. I know I shouldn't go here. And y'all know when a brother date white women exclusively, and he don't want nobody to think that, you ask him, do you date white girls? Man, no, I date all girls. Brother, the last 10 girls you dated been white girls. You could just say you date white women, bro. Stand on that. Like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Brothers never want to be known as a brother that date white girl. They date them, but they don't want you to label them that. You know what I'm saying? So they try to like deflect it and do everything. They do everything, but they keep dating a whole bunch of white girls, but they still try to act like, oh, that's not the case. Like, no, if that's what you want to do that. Again, date who you want to date. I ain't mad at you. Date who you want to date. But when people tell you that's what you do, don't deny it. Now stand on that. Now don't go back. If we got to go back to the last black girl you dated was when you was 12 years old, when you was 15, 16, and you're now 35. Hey man, hey, hey, just stand on you like what? Hey, it is what it is. So Stephen A. Smith, like, if you are a Republican, just stand on that with your chest poked out. Don't say it softly. You know, do it when you like talk loudly like you do when you going at certain Democrats. Talk loudly. Don't do it softly. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So they didn't want to lock Donald up. Absolutely not. They don't. They don't. And I just had to get on here and speak about this. I was like, man, this is crazy. Uh, he said Stephen A. trying to be slick. He pulling that I'm a centrist BS. Meanwhile, he said he pulling that I'm a centrist BS. Meanwhile, all his ire is for those on the left. Absolutely. Don't say you in the middle and you ain't. Nah. Yeah. Did I see Pharrell's comments on politics? Nah, I did not. What did he? This was recently. What did he say? Is that a felon is literally the president. That's crazy. Yeah, I know, right? It is really like, I promise you, this is like an episode of the Boondocks or South Park, like somebody's saying. It's really one of them episodes where you thinking, damn, is this real life or is this simulation? Like, what is it? Is this real life or is this simulation? I don't know. I can't tell. He said Mike Epps been saying some greasy stuff about black people too. Has he? I haven't seen it. Pharrell basically said that both sides are evil and that being political is toxic. Well, I think being political is more than just Democrats and Republicans, though. I think people got to understand that. Shoot, people look at they will call you political if you stand up for Black life, if you stand out, if you speak out against police brutality, if you speak out against systemic racism, you're going to be called political. So, in my estimation, speaking out against Black life is not evil at all. Supposedly, Mike Epps said that he's glad that SNAP benefits got cut. See, this is a brother that's been rich too long. And unfortunately, when let me screenshot this. Because I'm going to have a lot of conversations on my channel this week. Again, I've been tired like hell. But I'm going to get these videos pushed out one way or another. I heard Mike Epps had said something like that. A lot of times when brothers be rich for so long, they lose touch with the people. He from Indianapolis, Indiana, right? I'm sure he himself has been on SNAP benefits, his family members, all of that, right? Mike, if you didn't get a big break and you wasn't in a movie, if you didn't get a big break in comedy, who knows? You could be on SNAP benefits. He could have been on SNAP benefits for real. You know, especially through the fact that he didn't been locked up and stuff before. So yeah, man, like Come on, man. A lot of these dudes lose touch with their community when they get famous and they've been rubbing shoulders with people who rich. So yeah, man. Like, come on, man. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm looking at y'all comments. I'm like, Charles, are you talking about Dreamers Pro? He looking like Charles, who he thought you talking about Charles Barkley. He probably don't know who the heck Dreamers Pro is for real. But yeah, Mike, you've been around, you've been famous for too long now. You talking that, hey, I'm glad it got cut. Man, there's a lot of people that's hurting out here. Hurting who need SNAP benefits. Because again, you in order to get SNAP benefits, you already got to make next to nothing. So you know if somebody on it, they need it for real. This ain't back in the day when you can just scam the welfare system and you can just scam. You can't really do that like you could back in the day no more. So this whole notion of people living luxurious and on SNAP benefits, that's not no shit black folks were doing for real. A lot of white folks was in fact doing that for the longest of time, driving Rolls Royces and still having SNAP benefits, right? So don't try to put that blanket statement on black folks at all, like we all on it and we don't need it. We own it and we don't need it. Like, man, people on SNAP benefits now, they absolutely need it. That conversation has to shift. That's the white man's talking point. That's that conservative, anti-black conservative babble. White conservative babble. People are on welfare, they on SNAP benefits, they got SNAP and they don't even need it. They're driving around in all type of luxurious cars. What are y'all talking about? Yeah. Yeah, I think Pharrell said something like, do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? And again, a lot of them brothers in that fashion industry, a lot of them be having off takes. I got a notion, man. A lot of brothers in the fashion industry, uh something about them, a lot of them be off code a lot. And maybe it's because you got to be off code to get into that industry. I don't know. Like, a lot of brothers in that fashion realm be like, they be off code a lot. So it doesn't shock me that Pharrell said this. Who getting a job simply because they black? What the fuck is he talking about? He another one. Don't know what he talking. Ain't nobody getting these high paying jobs like that because we black. That don't work like that for black folks. If anything, that is work to the advantage of the dominant population in this country. You know what I'm saying? A lot of successful, rich white Americans have gotten opportunities based upon them knowing somebody, or their family being connected, being the next door neighbor of somebody that got a lot of money or something. So this whole idea that, you getting a job because you black, that's that anti-black white conservative babble. And you gotta watch brothers that get to talking like that. Seriously. And I'm a fan of Pharrell's music and his production. But let's be very clear. Statements like that is a whole bunch of bullshit now. It's a whole bunch of bullshit, and he got to be checked on it. They're all about making money and hating black folks. How much money can we make and how much can we despise black folks at the same time? That'd be the thing. And I ain't never standing with that. I'm never aligning with that. That is never cool, ever. Said for real. Yeah, man. Like, so Mike Epps and Pharrell talking that BS. And I promise you, these are the same. They talking like this about black folks and throwing all these little snappy little comments to black folks. Black folks, the one that made you wealthy, that been supporting you before, because Pharrell, his early production was with R&B groups. It wasn't on that NERD, eccentric type. No, it was with SWV and them and all of that. Black folks was lining your pockets up. So watch what you say about black folks in the black community. Yeah, he said a lot of people on Snap work full time. You think they would be more concerned about people getting higher wages so they wouldn't have to use it. Facts. Again, these are working people who getting Snap. And again, in order to get Snap, you got to make next to nothing. So the people that's on Snap, they not making no money for real. So they need it. You would think they would say, man, we need higher wages in this country. People need to be making more money. But again, they don't give a fuck because they got they pockets lined up. They don't care because they rich. They're like, whatever, man. It don't matter to them. Black Maul said Pharrell is from Virginia Beach, and his close childhood friends are Asian, white, and Latin. That's hard to do in Virginia Beach. Most definitely the area he's from says a lot, in my opinion. You saying I'm not familiar with the demographics of Virginia Beach. You're saying Virginia Beach in general is not a lot of black folks in that area? Is that what you're basically implying? Or did Pharrell just go to a school or was living in a neighborhood in Virginia Beach that was filled with Asians, whites, and Latin people? Juice, what's going on with you, big dog? What's happening with you? Oh man, James, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the donation, brother. You said Nicki Minaj will speak for the Trump administration at the United Nations to spread propaganda that Christians are under attack in Nigeria. They want to invade the country for their resources. Stay woke, absolutely. And Africa has been always getting ransacked for their resources since the beginning of time. You know, it's always getting ransacked for their resources, 100%. Yeah, look at Nicki Minaj. Man. Boy, I tell you, Nicki Minaj got her own plight with, PDF files and predators and so on and so forth that she has to deal with. Some, directly in her family, and the one that she married, he got allegations on him. So, hey, I don't know. Reverend Rev 93 said, disappointed as a Nigerian American to see so many Nigerians think Donald Trump is looking out for them. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. That's why, and that's where the dissension between the communities lie, right? A lot of Black Americans want Africans to be on code, you know, and because a lot of times, again, Black immigrants are easily swayed to be in favor of the dominant society, right? Because they get Black immigrants to try to shift on Black Americans a lot. A lot of times, and Black immigrants a lot of times will cave into that because they want to just come to America and assimilate, right? They don't want to stand out. They don't want to be deemed as troublemakers. So they just assimilate to the ideologies and the mindset of white conservatives, which leads to them, aligning themselves with certain rhetoric that Donald Trump would push. And that ain't cool. I want Black immigrants, when you come to America, to be on code with Black folks, be on code with Black Americans. Because what we're saying, we're not lying. When we talk with the plight that we discuss and we speak about, is not a myth. It's not something that we're made up. It's made up. And I think a lot of people, you gotta when we talk about this, we want Black immigrants to stand in solidarity with Black Americans. You know what I mean? That's the thing. We want Black immigrants to stand in solidarity with Black Americans for real. Because it tend to happen. Like, nah, man. Like, hey, look. This ain't made up. So, but there are immigrants like what you're saying, and it's sad. Yeah, it is. It's a real thing. And when I say this, I'm not attacking any Black immigrant or nothing. I'm just speaking to like reality. I'm speaking to reality. And it has to be a shift in that. It has to be a shift in that. We need Black immigrants to be on code with Black Americans, man. So that a lot of other bullshit won't be happening in this country. So Nigerians see Black people succeed in their country, so they think Black Americans are just making excuses. But black Nigerians got to understand that your plight in your homeland is not the same as our plight in this land here. And I just want to be very clear. And when I say this, I'm saying it with love. I'm not saying it from hostility. I'm saying it with love. Your plight in Nigeria is not the same as the Black American plight here. So you cannot tell a Black American about what our plight is here if you have not lived it. And you have not been, we've had this plight for generations, right? And even myself, when I was a kid, I used to think that my grandfather, and my grandmother and my great grandparents, I used to think they was too extreme. I used to think that, man, they just, they a little far fetched with this. No, man, it's real. It's real. And the plight of Black Americans is it's a real thing here. When we speak about systemic racism, when we speak about like not being afforded the same opportunities, it's not a made up thing. You know, you would think when people see, like when people hear that like I was laid off for like 7 months, when people hear like, oh, I'm not making nowhere what I used to make at all, people would assume I'm not applying myself. People would assume, oh, you don't got, maybe you just didn't go to school and work hard. Man, what? I've been working hard my whole life. My whole life, you know? So yeah, man, we need Black immigrants to be on code with Black folks. So I would urge any black immigrant, if you got, if you got other Black immigrant friends, tell them Black folks not lying about what's been going on in this country for the longest of time, and tell them to stand in solidarity with Black folks. You stand in the gap with Black people, with Black Americans, rather. Right? Stand in the gap with Black Americans, for sure. So that's what I really, I wanted to say that. You know. Um. I'm looking at something. My bad. Yeah, man. So, and yeah, definitely, it's people. It's a lot of Black immigrants that's on code for sure. I'm not denying that at all. But we need that to be a real thing across. I know it's never gonna be 100%. Um, it's never gonna be 100%, but we need it to be a majority thing for real. In order for certain things to get done and for Black people to advance, you know. Uh, but yeah, man, I had to get on here and talk about Stephen A. Smith real quick, man, because it's crazy. Tiff, what's going on? What's going on? But yeah, man, like I said, I had to get on here and talk about this because I saw this. I'm like, yeah, this man getting out of pocket. He wilding out. He is literally wilding out before our eyes, without question, man. And y'all do me a favor, man. Y'all go to the post section. Then y'all tell me some more topics y'all want me to discuss, and I can have them conversations on this channel. Like I said, man, I've been tired like hell. Super duper tired a lot, but we're gonna start pushing this content back out. I keep saying it, but we're gonna keep pushing this content out, man, for sure. Um, like I say, thanks for covering this topic. I appreciate you, James, and thanks for always rocking with me, bro. I appreciate the donation too, bro. I appreciate the donation too, bro. It mean a whole lot to me and my family, boss. 100%. Um, Stephen A. said he want to be oh yeah, man, hype the videos too, man. Hype the videos. Y'all hit like on this video too, man. Please hit like. Cause I promise y'all, I cannot get my videos back into the algorithm heavily unless y'all like it. So like the videos, hype the videos, all of that is much appreciated. Please do that for me. 100%. Said, do you have Ant-Man ranked higher than Luka on your best players in the league list? I haven't been aware of what Ant-Man has been doing. I promise y'all, it's been like 15 games into the season. I haven't even watched NBA basketball like I normally would. I watched some, but not a lot. One, because to start off the year, YouTube TV was on some bullshit. Basically, they weren't allowing me to watch the games like that because there was a dispute that Google had going on with Disney. It's come back now. It's come back now, but now everything back. But at first, they was in a dispute. And I'm like, I'm not finna be. I was using my father's YouTube TV account too. I'm not paying no $85, $90 to go to football and watch that. I already got too many subscriptions as it is, and the shit just keep going up higher and higher. Every day I go into my account, my stuff getting lower and lower. I'm lower and lower. I'm like, where the hell? I know this thing ain't increased to $30 now, like for real. So I haven't been watching NBA basketball like I normally would, but I've been seeing the numbers that Luka been putting up. Luka been going crazy. I'm not aware of what Ant-Man has been doing though. He must have been. If you ask me that, Black Mall, that must mean Ant-Man must been going. He must be going off. If you saying that, Ant-Man must be going crazy. If you ask me that question. Yeah, they was tweaking. Like, I'm not like the games one. You couldn't even watch ESPN or nothing on there because they had a little dispute with Disney. It's back going now. It's back rolling. But at first, it was like, man, what the hell? So I ain't even been watching like the NBA like I usually would. But we finna get back to it though, man. Nah, I appreciate you, Fred. But look, y'all, I'm finna get off this thing, man. I gotta get ready for work and all of that good stuff. So I'm gonna holler at y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all a little later. Y'all stay tuned. I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Peace.